content design it's the new term that is given to creating the look and feel of your website. It used to just be called design. But gone are the days of making something just look nice. Today, content design is all about shaping the user experience, that engagement that you're trying to get, and everything that can help lead to the overall success of a website. And it's all about creating like the seamless and meaningful interaction between the user and the information that they seek to create this holistic site that your business offers up for everyone. The word content has been added because all of these things rely on content to create a highly successful design. And this is now done in a much more strategic way than ever before, because the experience has to serve many different purposes. It takes a lot more to design a website. You can't just go, oh, I want to use the color blue in squares. It's like, well, now we're asking, well, why? The content design starts off with a content strategy where all of the efforts is to find data-centric design elements that will optimally serve your audience. And what I have on the slide here are a few things that web designers now focus on when they're really building a content design for a website. So let me run through these really quick. First one is user-centered focused. That sounds really self-explanatory, right? But the strategy behind the design is all about creating content design that resonates with your target audience, which ultimately leads to higher engagement and conversions. And there is a much greater need now to understand who your audience is before you start any design, because there's so many different resources out there right now that can pull that audience or that user to a site. The next thing is content clarity. We can all think TikTok and YouTube Shorts and all those things for users that have basically no attention anymore, and your content design has to be done in such a manner to quickly grab them and provide content in a logical and easy to understand setup so that they can just find what they need and convert, or find what they need and go about their merry way. You never want to create something that causes frustration, because that's just going to force people away from you. The third item to content design is brand consistency. My brand manager at Northwoods, she's struggling with this all the time with all of us, because we all have the ability to do our own thing when it comes to designing a website because of all the new tools that are available where you don't need a developer. But just because those tools exist doesn't mean you shouldn't focus on keeping that consistency with your brand. And so what a content design does is it focuses on the elements such as typography, colors, iconography, the visual style, all of those things to create a unified and memorable brand experience that your marketing team can use across your website with all the available tools that they have now. The fourth and probably one of the most important pieces is accessibility. Content design considers accessibility guidelines just to ensure that all users, including those with like some level of disability, whether that's vision or mobility, you want to make it, the content design wants to make it so that they can access and engage with your content. And prioritizing accessibility enhances your website's reach. And on top of that, it just demonstrates a commitment by your business to just be a good member of your community. It's a really important thing. And so I really recommend your content design focus on accessibility for those things. Content design is also tied to SEO, right? It's you're strategically incorporating relevant keywords, you're optimizing headings and structure, you're structuring the content for search engines. Those are all things that are part of content design and technical SEO to really drive more organic traffic to your site. And then last but not least, and there's actually many, many more, but responsive design is really important. It's different now than it was several years ago. Several years ago, responsive design was all about, oh, we got to make it work on a smartphone, right? We got to make our website work. But we're past that now. If your website doesn't work on a phone, you're in big trouble. But what I also mean, and what actually I mean by responsive design, is that users are consuming content on numerous different display sizes, and responsive design has to create, or content design has to come up with a responsive design that creates a uniform experience across all of those devices. So whether you go to a site with a smartphone or a tablet, a really small laptop, or say a 80-inch television, that experience is the same.